Did you know? This morning I find myself unable to deliver my most recently made bottle opener trowels. Currently 15% off on the Archaeosoup Etsy store. Link available in the video description. This is because postal workers are embarking on a 48-hour strike. They are withholding their labour in hopes of bettering their pay. And who can blame them? Inflation is at a 40-year high, and people across the country are contemplating strike action, the likes of which hasn't been seen since before I was born. Even nurses are going on strike. The Royal College of Nurses, in its 106-year history, hasn't contemplated this before. We're living through very tough times. But who's to blame for strike action, unionisation, and withholding labour as a means of improving one's circumstances? Some are no doubt tempted to point the finger at left-leaning, union-loving, communist Marxist types who hate capitalism. But actually, the history of strike action is much older than the ideas of Karl Marx. The earliest known strike, that is, withholding one's labour to create negotiating leverage in a dispute typically over pay and or conditions, comes from ancient Egypt in the year 1152 BCE on the 14th of November. Artists and sculptors crucial for the construction and decoration of the royal necropolis at Deir el-Medina downed tools because they had not been paid for some time. The dispute continued until authorities, their bosses, and one suspects even the pharaoh himself, Ramesses III, agreed to raise their wages. Surely, though, the Romans, those regimented, militaristic conquerors of Europe, wouldn't put up with such behaviour. Well, actually, successio plebis, or withdrawal of commoners, was a feature of ancient Roman society. Sometimes the plebs would simply get fed up of their leaders, and they would abandon cities en masse. This sort of protest migration of people meant that shops, workshops, crucial aspects of urban life like health and sanitation, supply of food, indeed all commercial transactions in the forum would stop. This would eventually bring their patrician rulers round to a more transigent negotiating stance. All told, there were 5 withdrawals of the commoners between 494 BCE and 287 BCE. These mass withdrawals of citizen labour from urban environments were finally brought to an end with the passing of Lex Hortensia, the Hortensian law, which dictated that any resolution made by the plebiscita, the plebeian council, would bind all citizens, plebeian and patrician alike. In theory, this secured everyone equal political rights and standing, though obviously within a couple of hundred years, the transition from republic to what we call empire in Rome highlights that this equal footing wasn't entirely accurate. And of course, this is complicated by the simple fact that ancient Rome was a civilization that relied upon slavery, i.e. some people were not citizens, and they were owned by citizens, who could, obviously, withdraw their slaves' labour as part of their own citizen protest. In the English language, the term to strike was first used in 1768. Sailors were in support of demonstrations in London. Food prices were soaring. That sounds familiar. And, in particular, coal heavers who transferred coal from barges on the River Thames into the city, backbreaking, grueling, ill-paid and dangerous work, were fed up of their bosses, often behaving fraudulently in withholding pay in various ways. Sailors, in support of their working-class colleagues, struck or removed topgallant or topgallant sails from merchant ships while in port. This effectively crippled those ships, halting all manner of international trade. So, it seems that strike action and struggles between employers and employed are as old as civilization itself. And the issues that are very much live today, cost of living crisis is absolutely biting here at Archaeosoup Towers, are issues that our ancestors also wrestled with and fought to overcome. So, it's okay. I'll just post my trowels, currently 15% off on the Archaeosoup Etsy store, link available in the video description, on Friday. And until then, solidarity, my friends. You have my support. Consider supporting Archaeosoup on Patreon for as little as $1 per month. Link available in the video description.